Next question is from Ms. New Booty. Wow. Are diet breaks necessary, or can long-term consistency still get you body composition changes?
Well, we should change. I want to change the question.
Yeah, the question's a little confusing.
Well, I'm going to change it a little bit because I think quote unquote diet breaks can definitely be a part of long-term consistency. So I think sometimes people confuse consistency with I eat the same way all the time. Like I'm always eating super structured, super healthy, and that's what's considered consistent. And if I go out on a weekend or have a nice dinner with my girlfriend or my boyfriend or go out with my friends, that now I'm breaking that consistency. I don't think that's the case. I think
it's just being flexible.
I think an overall healthy relationship with food looks like that, and it's consistently like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I do enjoy.
You account for that.
That's exactly right. So now that being said, studies do show that when they compare groups of people who are dieting, the groups of people who diet and then include what are called diet breaks, well, they'll eat more food for a week and then go back on the diet or whatever. They do better. They do better both by sticking to the diet more consistently. I think it's psychologically it gives them a break. But there seems to be a physiological benefit as well. And I think it has to do with like how we reverse diet people, where we give them more calories, metabolism speeds up, they start burning more body fat, or at least it helps mitigate the slowdown, the metabolic slowdown that happens from being
help you synthesize, nutrients better and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that. So,
well, I think that she asked too. The long-term consistency for sure gets you the body still. I think the question sometimes people have is, if I'm not on a diet like that, can I still be making changes over time if I'm not tracking and doing all that? And absolutely, it's just going to take longer. That's the thing that I always tell people about when getting into tracking and making moves. It all depends on who I'm speaking to. If I'm talking to someone who asks a question like, Adam, I've got 6 weeks. Can we make the most moves in 6 weeks? What are we going to do? We're going to be on a diet and we're going to track and we're going to be super rigorous about it. If you're somebody who's like, I don't want to do any of those things, but can I still build the physique I want? Yeah, absolutely. Over time, you just keep making better and better choice. And I actually think that's a much healthier approach. The reality is, though, most people are impatient. Most people want both worlds. I get that all the time. Like, Adam, I want to get in the best shape of my life in 6 weeks, but I don't want to follow any diets. Like, what the fuck? What am I? I'm not a magician.
I'm really serious.
No, it's totally. Don't you guys remember getting that?
I used to get all the time.
My diet. Yeah, I would get these demands of how fast they want something, but then they had to give me all these rules on what they're not willing to do. It's just like, okay, well, that's going to be tough. We'll see how that works out for you. But no, I think. I'm not tracking right now. I haven't tracked in a long time, actually. I've been just kind of eating, and it's very inconsistent. I think the biggest thing that I notice when I'm not tracking, I have a hard time hitting protein targets, because what always happens is when I do get back to tracking and I just kind of track what I'm doing, I go like, oh shit, I'm under consuming that. But I'm aware of it. So I consciously try and make an effort, and I notice, I can always tell in my strength, I can even tell the way my physique looks when I string 3 or 4 days that are really good, where I know I was like making sure I was getting good 3-4 meals that were 6 to 8 ounces of meat in it. Like I definitely can feel it and see the difference, but then I'll kind of not get that for a week or two, and I kind of don't care if I slide back a little bit, because I'm not trying to make any crazy progress right now. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, in my experience working with people, being on the same kind of caloric intake all the time is not as effective as allowing it to fluctuate here and there, both from a psychological component, but I also think there may be some physiological component. Like I noticed this whether bulking or cutting. Like if I was always eating high calorie all the time, throwing in a couple low calorie days, my body would respond better.
Why wouldn't it be like that? The way the body adapts to everything else is like that.
Of course.
So why wouldn't the metabolism do the same thing?
Yeah, and there's no way we evolved in an environment where we're fucking eating the same thing all the time. I'm pretty sure we had days of high calorie when there was food,
right,
and lots of days of low calorie. This is
all new.
Yeah, exactly. So I think your body works better that way. But at the end of the day, whatever works better for you works better for you. So, sometimes people ask this question, and what I'm afraid of is I'll give someone a piece of advice that runs counter to what works better for them, but then they'll stick to it. They'll try and stick to it hard-headedly because Sal said it or whatever. At the end of the day, if something's working for you and you feel good and you feel like you have a good relationship with food and you're consistent with the same food all the time, and you heard you should have diet breaks, but you're like, I don't know, this is working great for me. Don't do it. Yeah. Listen to your body.